lot of gifts and abilities. Very popular kid at school, very athletic kid, highly intelligent. Just really didn't have a lot of weaknesses as an individual, but he was somebody that would always look after, that person that might not be the smartest person or the best looking person, or the person that might not have been the popular guy, and he just was somebody that always was more concerned about others than himself.
No one was a stranger to Tripp. He had friends everywhere. Everyone was a friend to him. To me, he was the best friend to me, but Tripp had a lot of best friends. And more importantly, he was a lot of people's best friends as well. Just the way he make people feel, was always charismatic, was a great leader. He was respected by so many people. Even people older than him looked up to him.
It was such a joy to be around. He was always worried about making sure everybody was okay. Always wanted to make sure no one was left out. Some of his friends, since this happened, have told stories about how, they were nervous, new in school, and didn't have anybody to sit with at lunch. And Tripp would seek people out that he thought, needed a friend at the time.
Sometimes when I try to describe Tripp to others, I often get that term indescribable, because if you ever met him, you surely wouldn't forget him. When he walked in a room, he had a big old smile on his face. He was known for that smile. He was very kind, and he always made sure he said hi to everyone, even the person who's standing off in the corner not really wanting to be recognized.
And he had asked if he could go duck hunting with his friends, and so, I was like, I don't want him to go because I want to see him, and everybody was like, well, he'll be home, before you even wake up, because it's something they do early in the morning. So that next morning, we got the call that no parent ever wants to receive.
911, what's that? Just of emergency.
Yeah, there's on Jacksonville Highway, in between Neal's Crossroads and Michellaville. Hurt. The water is turned over, and the water's going in the car with the driver.
So he flipped over?
Yeah, he flipped over. It's real bad.
And where are you at?
In between Michellaville and Neal's Crossroads.
So right there, like the 8,000 block of Charleston Highway?
Yeah, on Jacksonville Highway. There's people in here can't.
So they're entrapped in the vehicle?
Yeah, and there's water going in the vehicle. The ditch is full of water.
And it's just, it's not anything that your mind can even comprehend. And we didn't think the worst at all. We thought, maybe they'd gotten a little fender bender or something, because no one had told us any different. And just that they had been in an accident, but everybody was okay and had come to the hospital. And it just, as we were getting closer and closer, I just got a worse feeling. And so then when we arrived there, they grabbed us and said, we need you to come in here, we need you to sit down. And that's when they told us that they had been in a terrible accident, which no one had ever used those words, and that he didn't make it.
People often ask me what's it like to lose a child, and I tell them that it's indescribable. And in some ways, Tripp was kind of indescribable.
Tripp got to experience a lot of life in his 17 years, and most people do in a lifetime. He loved his parents, loved his friends, loved school, loved football, baseball, his dogs, and anything that was part of his life. At his funeral, there was a poem that was read. It was called Footprints. His girlfriend said that Tripp went and found the poem and saw it, and he read it to her and was like, you know what, Molly, I want this to be read at my funeral one day. One night I had a dream. I was walking along the beach with the Lord, and across the skies flashed scenes of my life. In each scene I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One was mine and one was the Lord's. At the last scene of my life appeared before me. I looked back to my footprints in the sand, and to my surprise I noticed that sometimes along my life there was only one set of footprints. And I noticed that it was at the lowest and saddest times of my life. I asked the Lord about it. Lord, you said that once I decided to follow you, you would walk with me all the way. But I noticed during the most troublesome times in my life, there was only one set of footprints. I don't understand why you left me and let me walk by myself through this. The Lord replied, "My precious child, I love you and would never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, where you see only one set of footprints, I was carrying you."
The Breaks is an amazing program that we're just so happy that we found out about. And you know, it gives us the opportunity to be with young people. We love to be with young people, but also to make a difference in their lives. And Breaks is something that will make an impact on your life forever. It's not a one and done, I won't use that again. You will use that your entire life. And the adults that go through it as well, they just are amazed by things that they were doing wrong. But just think about if that were to actually save your life, something that you learned, you know, committing 4 hours to one time in your life. It's just phenomenal, all that it teaches you.
One thing that I've taken from him is to, you know, just to try to make somebody's day better just by your attitude and the way that you approach every day. But more than anything, I just thank him for, you know, for the impact he made on my life. And you know, I've got a picture of Tripp that sits right above my desk, and it'll stay there, you know, the rest of my career. And every day I come to work, I look and I just, you know, I'm just reminded of the special person he was.
Try to live our life, you know, more like him every single day. That's why we wear these bracelets that say "Stay Trippy." It's just a reminder that to be more like Tripp every day. You know, stay like Tripp, be like Tripp. You know, and just so I try to do that every day if I can.
Is this the going to bed?